I am making some Tennessee hot chicken for dinner tonight. And this week, Fly Lady is all about the kitchen. And I'm frying up the chicken and then I'm gonna clean up my mess. All that grease. I took 2 whole frying chickens and I cut each of them up into 10 pieces. I have a cup of buttermilk. Now buttermilk for a cup has 12 grams of carbs, but I'm just gonna use it to marinate it. And then most of it's gonna be discarded. But with 20 pieces of chicken, I mean, even if you did use all the buttermilk, it would be less than half a carb, you know, per piece of chicken. So I'm not gonna worry about it too much. But it's gonna tenderize the chicken a lot, and I'm gonna try to replicate some chicken that Ken and I had in Tennessee called hot chicken. And the first step I'm gonna do is marinate it with this buttermilk. To make the coating, what I'm gonna do is use a cup of pork rinds that I crunched up into small pieces and a cup of almond flour. We'll use this to coat the chicken. After coating the chicken, just fry it up in your iron skillet. You can see that most of the buttermilk is still in the bag. We didn't even use the whole cup in the recipe. So I'm not even gonna worry about the carbs with that too much. I have about half a cup of the pan drippings from frying the chicken. And the first thing I'm gonna do is add, the recipe calls for 3 tablespoons of cayenne pepper. Told you this was hot. And then, let's see, a half a teaspoon of paprika. A half a teaspoon of garlic powder. Some salt to taste. Oh my gosh, this looks this looks imposing. But you just kind of baste it on the fried chicken. The recipe calls for 1 tablespoon of brown sugar. That would be about 14 grams of carbs divided by 20, so less than 1 gram of carb per serving of chicken. Or you could use the brown sugar swerve, whichever your preference is. Then just baste some of that hot oil on the chicken. And we're going to serve it with just some sauteed mixed veggies. I think I have onion, garlic, bell pepper. I have a little bit of green beans and some mushrooms. I'm just going to saute them in a little butter. That's what I'm going to serve on the side. But Ken and I want to give this a try and see if it's just like it was in Tennessee. I'm going in. So does that remind you of Tennessee? Mm-hmm. It's actually very similar. I mean, really a pretty good copycat. Yum. That Tennessee chicken was so delicious. It was good cold too. It seems like 3 tablespoons of the cayenne pepper would make it super, super spicy, and it is spicy, but that little bit of sugar kind of balances it. I don't know. It's hard to explain. We had Ken's recruiter come over to the house, and he sat there and he ate a piece of chicken, and then he ate a piece of chicken, and then pretty soon he ate like the whole platter of chicken. It's kind of one of those things. Excellent recipe. For Tuesday, we're going to try some of that fathead dough pizza. It's a keto-friendly crust, and I'll also link like my regular pizza dough recipe as well, if you're not on keto. But I have to say that this crust was excellent. Ken loved this, and the kids didn't even know it was keto pizza. I found that it was a little bit rich and I could only eat one piece, but it was delicious, an excellent recipe. I made some fathead dough pizza, and no one believes that this is not a real crust, so I have to make another pizza. In my bowl, I have 12 ounces of mozzarella cheese, 1.5 ounces of cream cheese. I'm going to microwave it for a minute, give it a big stir, and then I'm going to put this back in the microwave for another minute. I'm just going to add a sprinkling of garlic salt, a little bit of onion powder, an egg, and 3/4 cup of almond flour. Get this all mixed together. At some point you just have to go in with your hands, but really kind of hot. It's a little bit sticky, so I'm going to add a little bit more almond flour. Keep kneading it. Okay. I have some parchment paper. I'm just spraying it with some spray. And then I'm just going to start mashing it out, trying to get it shaped into a pizza shape. I have the oven at 425. I'm going to cook it for 6 minutes and then poke it down with the fork because it has a tendency to kind of bubble up. So that's what it looks like. I'm going to put a little bit of sauce on. I'm going to put a little bit of onion powder, garlic salt, some mozzarella cheese, probably about a cup's worth. Some mushrooms, whatever you want for toppings. That's what we're having tonight. Let me get some pepperoni slices on here. back into the 425 degree oven for 8 minutes. Then just let it set for 5 minutes so that it can kind of firm up a little bit. Because it's really hot when it first comes out of the oven, and the crust will be a little gooey. But if you let it sit for about 5 minutes, the crust is going to get firm like this. It's like magic. That's all I can say, magic. The one thing is you can only eat about a piece of this, or I couldn't only eat a piece. It's kind of rich. Freaky, huh?
Tastes like pizza to me. Looks like pizza.
I know.
Look at that.
It kind of satisfies that, like if you're craving bread or crusty and everything. I know. Excellent recipe. Wednesday, I sauteed some chicken thighs in a pan, low and slow until they got some good color on them. I spiralized some zucchinis in it, and I made a mushroom cream sauce and added some Asiago cheese at the end. Oh my word, it was really good. For dinner tonight, we spiralized some zucchini, we pan-seared some chicken thighs, and made a wonderful sauce. And it smells so amazing in the house. I'm really excited to eat this. I have a non-stick pan that I put 1 or 2 tablespoons of olive oil in. I salt and peppered some boneless, skinless chicken thighs, and I cooked them on low to medium-low heat, and just let them kind of render out some of their fat and get a nice color on them. I really took my time. I'm going to take the chicken out of the pan and use the pan to make a really nice sauce to go on them. I have a small onion that I diced, and I'm just going to use the same pan to cook the onion in. I'm going to cook it over medium-low heat and just let these onions get really, really soft. I'm talking for like, 20, 30 minutes. I'm going to let these cook down. Just really low and slow. I went ahead and spiralized some zucchini. I'm going to cook this in a little bit of butter, salt, and pepper. I have some compound butter that has a little bit of shallot, garlic, parsley, salt, and pepper. And I'm just melting it in my pan. I'm going to add the spiralized zucchini. I'll season with salt and pepper and just cook this for just a couple of minutes. It only took a couple of minutes. It's cooked through, it smells amazing, and it's going to be wonderful with dinner. Onions have been cooking for about 25 minutes. I'm going to add a clove of minced garlic and 8 ounces of sliced mushrooms. I'm just going to cook this until the mushrooms have lost a lot of their moisture. And this will be the base for the sauce. The onion and mushroom mixture has cooked down a whole bunch. I'm adding 2 cups of heavy whipping cream. Let this come up to a low simmer. I brought the cream up to temperature. It simmered for a couple of minutes. I'm going to turn the heat off. And I'm going to add about a cup of this cheese. This is one I got at Trader Joe's. And it's a blend of Asiago, Fontina, provolone, and Parmesan. But if you just have Parmesan, add a cup of Parmesan. You know, do what you have. I just thought that this would be a nice way that I could finish off this cheese. It's going to thicken the sauce even more. I'm going to let this melt, and then we're going to plate this up. This sauce would be excellent on chicken cordon bleu too. The cheese is melting. Looks and smells delicious. To plate it, I just put a bed of that spiralized zucchini, a couple pieces of the chicken, and we're just going to top it with some of our sauce. I have to say that this has taken away my craving for any kind of pasta dish. I wouldn't have believed it a few weeks ago. And I can't believe that eating this way, it's just like the weight's falling off. It's crazy. It's a miracle. This was delicious. Oh my gosh. Thursday, we're going to have some bunless chili dogs. We're going to put all the toppings on them. I can't wait. I used a pound of ground beef to make some chili. And I have those Hoffman hot dogs heating up. For dinner tonight, we're having bunless chili dogs with sour cream, cheese, jalapenos, tomatoes, cilantro, and a little bit of green onion. It looks really good. Friday, we're going to have some salmon. We're trying to eat fish once a week and trying to eat salmon in particular because of the omega-3s. And serving it with some sauteed spinach and simple salad. For dinner tonight, we're having pan-seared salmon with a little bit of compound butter, some spinach that I just sauteed in the pan with salt, pepper, butter, and a little bit of garlic, red pepper flakes. Very simple salad dressed with olive oil and a little bit of red wine vinegar, salt, and pepper. And that's what we're having for dinner. Yum, yum. We're trying to do salmon like once a week. For Sunday dinner, we're having grilled steak, creamed spinach, and brandied mushrooms. For dinner tonight, we're having some grilled steaks, brandied mushrooms, and creamed spinach. Well, that's our meal plan for the week. I hope you guys have a fantastic week. Happy meal planning. Until the next video, talk to you later. And this next week is going to be pretty exciting because we're going to New York City. So I hope to get a lot of footage for you guys. All right, take care, have fun.